Welcome back to In the Zone. I'm your host, Miles Shenk, and with the Olympics wrapped up, the World Baseball Classic on the horizon, and AJ Styles retiring, we have a lot to talk about. In the Zone starts now. Joining me on desk this week are Chun and George Burkhimer. The Olympics have officially wrapped up after 118 events. Norway came out on top with 18 gold medals and 41 medals in total. The U.S. came in second with 12 gold medals and 35 medals in total, with the Netherlands and Italy not far behind. For many here in the States, though, a wave of pride came through nonetheless thanks to the performance of the U.S. ice hockey teams. Both the men's and women's teams won the gold, the third time for the women's team and the first time for the men's team since the Miracle on Ice in 1980. Despite the success of both teams, the men's team received criticism for cozying up to President Trump as he made a distasteful joke regarding the women's team. On the other hand, U.S. figure skater Alyssa Liu came home with 2 gold medals along with praise for her performance and sportsmanship on the ice. The Summer Olympics will be held in Los Angeles in 2028, with the 2030 Winter Olympics being held in the French Alps. George, how do you feel about the Olympics and what are your takeaways?
Of course, I'm excited that we won gold in both hockey events. Feel like we're the second hockey country behind Canada, and
well,
I don't know if the Flyers are winning the Stanley Cup. I don't know if the Flyers are winning the Stanley Cup this year, but I can at least be happy U.S. won gold. And of course, we couldn't have done it without Kash Patel.
Of course. He got down to something at the end
He
of
was
the
there.
game.
He was there when no one else would be.
There.
No one else had the balls to
When
go.
no one else wanted him, he was there.
Might cut that one.
But honestly, I'm just amazed to see this type of victory happen to the United States. We might as well call Canada, the what is this? The 51st state, 52nd state.
I wonder if there is going to be a movie in a few years called The Miracle on Ice 2 about Miracle on Ice 2026. But I really hope that doesn't happen. I just hope we win again next year.
Yeah.
Next time.
You made a point with the Miracle on Ice too. Kyle Wagner, our own MUTV member, wrote an article for our newspaper kind of comparing the Miracle on Ice, the original one, to this year. This year's U.S. team, it was, I want to say the first, or at least the first time in a while where we've had the Olympic hockey sweep where both the men and women's team won gold. I think that's a pretty good argument. I was talking with Billy for his podcast that he's doing for the newspaper about, is this better than the Miracle on Ice game? I would say it's definitely up there.
I don't know if it is, just because the Miracle on Ice is such a great name. I don't know if anything can ever replace it.
Yeah, and I don't know if you need to look for a second one too, which is, I think they can both exist on their own as really, really strong games.
What I think was cool about this game is just how much it kind of boosted the general American morale. I remember when the game was happening, I was trying to find my wallet as I was going back to, I was back in Philadelphia. And the entire time I was looking for my wallet, I stopped just to see the last couple of minutes of the game and cheer it on. And then I had to go find my wallet, get in the Uber, and, hopefully not,
I hope you
miss my
find your
train.
wallet at least.
Somewhere in Philadelphia.
No luck?
No, I don't know where it is. Famous car.
Well, if you find Miles' wallet, please let him know.
Let me know.
And give it to me.
While spring training action is well underway, many players are also gearing up for baseball's global tournament, the World Baseball Classic. It's set to be another action-packed tournament with many stars from the 2023 WBC returning and plenty of new ones joining the fold. Lots of strong teams like the U.S. and the Dominican Republic are looking to try and take down the defending champions, Team Japan. But one of the biggest stories of the tournament, however, has been the limitations around some of the participating players, and even the players who are not in the tournament. Aaron, can this year's tournament still live up to the hype of 2023? And who do you see winning at this time?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was a really big storyline, was who is going to be there, who isn't going to be there, who's limited. I think it was unfortunate because we saw a lot of really good players, either limited on how much they can play. We saw some players who just can't play in general, and it does take a little bit out of the tournament. But I think some of the great moments from 2023 came from a lot of star players, and there are still a lot of star players. Team USA is loaded with guys: Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Bobby Witt Jr., Aaron Judge, Cal Rowley, just a handful of the guys in that lineup. And there's still so many great people not there that I didn't name. Team Japan, you got Shohei Ohtani's back. He won't be pitching this time, but he's still such a good hitter. Yoshinobu Yamamoto's back for them. Seiya Suzuki's, I don't remember if he was there last year or not, but he's there on the lineup. Dominican Republic has a number of stars there. Puerto Rico still has some good players, even though their big captain, Francisco Lindor, isn't there. So I still think there's plenty of opportunity for some signature moments this year, like there were in 2023.
What do you think?
I think it's going to be a good year. I have no doubt in my mind it's going to be a good year.
I think a lot of the same really strong teams from 2023 are just as strong, if not better, than.
And I think, I'm not going to say who's going to win it because I feel like this is, baseball especially is a sport where it really just depends on second to second. Like even the best team can just have the worst game because baseball, a lot more than any other sport, relies on singular players compared to a team. And if one player has a bad day, it can just ruin everything. So I say calling baseball early is one of the hardest, but I'm going to root for Team USA. I'm going to root for everybody.
Yeah, I think my dad said it best. Baseball is stupid.
It is.
And boy, is it ever. But yeah, if I had to make a prediction, I think I'm also going Team USA. They were so close last year, and I think that team's only gotten better.
Hoping and praying with that same amount of American pride that Team USA wins, Got a lot to...
USA, 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 USA. I'm also taking the Dominican Republic, I think it'd be cool to see a little smaller place win. But USA still number one. USA, USA, USA.
I got a tattoo of USA just on the inside of my skull.
Inside of your skull.
In the inside.
I have one somewhere. I have one somewhere, but I cannot show you where it's at. I cannot show you where that tattoo's at.
All right. Now let's send it over to Kevin Lynch for the latest in Marauder Athletics. Kevin?
Thanks, Miles. As we approach the end of February, Millersville Athletics have proven that they are unstoppable when put up against fellow collegiate athletes. Women's indoor track and field had a tune-up at Penn State's main campus on Friday, February 20th. Olivia Sunderland received the 4th place spot for running the 3,000-meter event. Sarah Hessler got 4th place for the weight throw, and Gianna Ingram achieved her personal best during the 200-meter race. The team are set to compete in the PSAC Indoor Championships from Friday, February 28th through Sunday, March 1st at Lehigh University. Women's lacrosse had their first game of the season against Wilmington University on Wednesday, February 25th. Millersville had been tied with Wilmington for the first quarter with a total of 3 points. In each quarter after the first, the Millersville Marauders were only able to gain 1 point, with the team ultimately losing to Wilmington 6-16. During the game, Millersville's goalie, Casey O'Neill, was able to have 5 saves in the first half. Addison Geary's first game with the team was on Wednesday too, with her being able to get 2 goals for the Marauders. The women's lacrosse team are set to go up against IUP on Saturday, February 28th at 1 p.m. The men's basketball team won against Westchester during their senior night game on Wednesday with a score of 82-76. This game makes it can we start from the top of that sentence? This game makes it the 3rd time since 2021 that the team clinched a share for the PSAC East title. Day Waters, a senior for the team, scored the most amount of points during the game with a total of 25 points. Seniors Amir Hurst and Siraj Ali scored 21 and 16 points for the team, respectively. The Marauders are set to start in the first round of the 2026 PSAC Championship Games starting on Monday, with a start time not yet determined for the first match. Now we'll send it back to the desk to talk about the NHL. Miles?
Thanks, Kevin. With the conclusion of the Winter Olympics in Milan, players are returning to their home teams back in the United States to celebrate their victories. Before the game against Buffalo, the New Jersey Devils honored the returning Olympians with a pregame celebration, and none was cheered on more than Devils' own Jack Hughes. The men's USA hockey team star came back missing a few teeth, but gaining a whole new appreciation from fans. Before the puck drop, fans cheered Hughes on as he thanked his country and grabbed his Olympics teammate, Tage Thompson, from the opposing Buffalo side to join the celebration in a stadium filled with American flags and chants of USA. Aaron, how do you think the players are feeling returning home from the Olympics to party back with their families?
I think it's been great for them. I mean, they get to share this experience with the fans now back at home. Now they get to share it with their families, their friends. But even for Team Canada, because that was a crushing loss for them, it was an extremely close game that they very easily could have won. They're still going to be up, and nothing's going to replace winning the Olympics, right? That's still going to hurt them. Nothing's really going to make that better or neutral, but they at least get to go home. They get to share their experiences getting to the gold medal game with their fans. But yeah, I think for Team USA, it's a great experience for people. It's great for fans to be able to uplift their players more, to celebrate their wins a little bit closer with them now that they're back in the States. I think for some of the other countries that sent players from the NHL, or for other countries that had NHL players sent to them, it's another chance for those players to get celebrated by their fans at home too.
I think that's great, honestly.
I'm going to say it's probably a little awkward to immediately go up against your teammate, like, as soon as you get back.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'd feel like I couldn't hit him that hard, he helped me, we won that game together, but, it's back on it. And also be very awkward to lose that game after your entire audience is chanting USA, we love you, and then you lose it.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, someone's going to come out happy, right? Because there's Team USA players on both sides.
Yeah.
It's like, well, and I'm sure the first game or two back, if you see another USA player on their side, you're like, I can take it lighter on him for now. One game's not going to kill me. If I see him again in another game later in the season, all bets are off.
I'll deck him.
Yeah,
I'll fist fight him.
What would have me upset is going from Milan back to Jersey.
Oh my goodness.
Some might call Jersey the Milan of the West.
Some might say,
Who would call people who live in Jersey would?
I don't think they
who
would.
lives in Jersey?
The cast of The Sopranos. You want me to go over that bit again?
The frog people?
Hey,
boy, hey.
I don't. I know James Gandolfini is passed, bless him, but I don't think he would say that about New Jersey.
I think like 3 people in New Jersey would say that about. There is 3 extremely patriotic people in New Jersey who are like, New Jersey, best place on earth. I would, if when I die, lay me to rest in New Jersey and let me be a ghost and haunt the nearest Wawa. That's I don't know if that's a good New Jersey impression.
And that's all right. I would give it 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 Jerseyans. All right. We are stepping inside the ring with a huge week in WWE as the road to Elimination Chamber heats up. Monday Night Raw delivered high drama, heated storylines, and a tearful goodbye to one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. AJ Styles officially retired in his home state of Georgia, leaving his gloves and jacket in the ring to a standing ovation. Before his exit, he was met by The Undertaker, who announced that Styles would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Raw also featured the final Elimination Chamber qualifiers for both the men's and women's matches. Jey Uso defeated Bronson Reed, an El Grande Americano, after Reed suffered a distal bicep tendon tear. Let's keep on going. Distal bicep tendon tear mid-match. Raquel Rodriguez won the triple threat women's qualifier with a Tahina bomb, earning her spot inside the chamber backstage. Backstage tensions continue to build within Judgment Day as Finn Balor made it clear he plans to handle CM Punk on his own. The Elimination Chamber pay-per-view is set for February 28th in Chicago. The card features 2 single title matches, CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship, and AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental title. The event also features 2 Elimination Chamber matchups, where 6 superstars are locked in a steel cage and must eliminate their opponents by pinfall or submission tap-outs until one remains. The men's chamber includes Randy Orton, LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Tavon Evans, Trick Williams, Jey Uso. The women's match features Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. Winners of the Elimination Chamber matches are guaranteed undisputed WWE Champion matchups at the WrestleMania 42. George, with a lot of heated storylines in WWE the last week, what are you looking forward to coming up?
That's a difficult thing because there's a lot of things coming up, and I think I'm interested in the pandemonium that's going to be there. You know, the chaos that's going to be there. Sadly, my favorite wrestler's not going to be there. Snake Charmer, you know. That's my favorite. Sadly, I don't know what he's been up to.
Probably
It's such a good thing. It's such a good thing. I don't know how he didn't stick around. But yeah, I think it's going to be a very interesting night.
There's a lot of heated matchups, a lot of tense games. I think you also made a good point. There's so much going on. I mean, look at all that we just talked about happening like the last week, right? There's so much that's always going on. Like I don't super closely follow the WWE, but there's always like every day there's like 2 or 3 different things going on. I think it's always been something that's intriguing. It's just how much you have going on any given week.
How much production stuff, the amount
It's
it's
crazy.
all,
It's crazy.
Well, I mean, as we know, wrestling is real,
Yes.
but the amount of like scripting, planning, jumping off the ropes, and making sure
I
you don't
can
break
say
your
I was
neck.
very disappointed when I went to my brother's high school wrestling and no one drove in a milk truck and sprayed milk at people.
I know.
Where were the chairs? That's like a move you should pull out every time.
I know.
Oh, he's trying to pin me? Chair to the face. What are you gonna do against the chair?
Do you know how interesting it would make things? High
No
school,
top
yeah.
rope? Come on.
Just chairs. Forget about pinning.
You're telling me
Just
I
hit people
can't
with a
knuckle
chair.
shuffle someone on the mat? That's crazy.
I know.
There's a cage.
One thing
Climb the
though-
cage.
Oh,
I would like to do WWE one day. I'd just get in there. Call me the chair. I put like a chair on my chest.
they call me the trash man.
What a trash me. That's who
All
I
right.
need.
Now it's time to go out of bounds. This week on Out of Bounds, where we look at strange, unique, or funny sports and sports moments, we'll take a look at Finland and the Air Guitar World Championship. Since 1996, Oulu, Finland has hosted this competition, and this year it will be held from August 26th to the 29th. The official website also has a Hall of Fame, with the most recent addition being the Angus, world champion of the 2025 competition. The competition intends to promote the world peace, saying, quote, "Make air, not war," and "You can't hold a gun while you play the air guitar," end quote. The competitors are scored from 4 to 6 points in 3 different categories: accuracy, charisma, and airness. Let's take a look at some of the contestants.
I have one question. Are you ready to party?
George, if you had a song or routine for the air guitar competition, what would you choose and why?
You got to stand out. That's my thing. Everyone in there is going to be doing heavy metal, you know, doing like that stuff. You can't be doing that. You got to catch them off guard.
Okay.
So I'm going to do Wonderwall.
No way, because I was thinking the same thing, you know? Like,
I
yeah.
want to get booed out of there.
No, I think you might get applause for that, but yeah, like, you know, like you hear all these rock songs, these heavy metal songs, What are they gonna do if I come out there and start going like, today's gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you? See,
No, somewhere over the rainbow. You gotta pretend.
Wait
to
till
play
we come out
it.
with
yeah.
the Creedence Clearwater Revival. I wanna know, and then get immediately tomatoed off stage. The meanest tomato.
Well, I feel like a
tomato
cheat is you
curveball.
choose a song without a guitar, because then like you
Yeah, but
should get a 10 across the board.
But then you could be a little bit more creative. You could be, because then you're relying on charisma and airness, right?
What does airness mean? Do you think? Because I don't think there's a correct
Well,
definition.
probably not knowing how to play guitar. All those guys dropped the guitar. They were all
Yeah, I was
You
gonna.
saw one guy did a cartwheel. You saw
Yeah,
that?
that was cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
cool.
Charisma points off the charts. But where was the guitar in all of
Well,
this?
clearly on the floor in pieces.
I can say this as a theater kid. That just felt like a bunch of theater kids who wanted to be rock stars, right?
And they're succeeding, in my opinion.
You saw the crowd.
Yeah, okay, the crowd was into it. I can't
Do
lie.
you think you gotta get like sponsored to get into that? Or is there preliminaries?
Do you
Oh,
think
there's-
they have
there's
sponsors?
definitely
Like,
teams.
Do you think?
do you think like Guitar Center sponsors them instead of like Under
I think
Armour
I think
sponsors?
Guitar Center would hate them because like, no, you need to buy our guitars. I want to get sponsored by like the weirdest thing to get sponsored.
Watch it be like Buc-ee's. Get sponsored by Buc-ee's.
I want to get
That feels like
I want to be
something
sponsored
Buc-ee's
by
would
Lockheed
sponsor.
Martin. They sponsor my air guitar routine.
I feel
I
like
think I'd get kicked out. 'Cause
I
you
feel
gotta
like
make air not war.
Right, because it's make air not war. I feel like that contradicts a Lockheed
Texas
Martin.
Which
sponsors
just sounds like
yeah.
fart. That's like a guys. This is what's gonna
Well-
make world peace.
That'll do it for this episode of In the Zone. For Aaron Chun, George Burkhimer, Kevin Lynch, and the entire In the Zone crew. I'm your host, Miles Shenk, and thank you for watching. We'll catch you right here next time on In the Zone.